Welcome back to the channel where I provide regular cricket content on interesting topics. In today's video I am digging into some of the underappreciated bowlers of the game, the part-timers. I think we all have seen some of our favorite batsmen turn their arm over and be quite surprised at how good they looked. Some go further and turn into a legitimate option for their captain. So in this video I am going to be running down positions 10 through to 6, in terms of the best part-time bowlers in Test cricket history. I had to give the ground rules quite a lot of thought as the term, part-time bowler is quite subjective. In the end I settled on two rules. Firstly, they must have taken under 100 Test wickets but played 50 or more Tests. This is to obviously rule out bowlers who just didn't play very much. The second rule I am setting is that I also am going to use the ESPN definition of the player's role. If they are shown as a batter then great, they're included. If they are shown as an all-rounder like Chris Gayle for example they are not. Let's get started. Number 10, Sachin Tendulka. Sachin would never be classed as an all-rounder by any stretch. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't a handy part-time bowler. The Indian legend bowled medium pace during the early 1990s, but started bowling leg break or off break from the mid-90s. Tendulka was quite effective with his leg break variations. He outsmarted a number of good batsmen with his flight as well as googlies. Overall Tendulka took 46 wickets in 200 Test matches, with the best bowling figures of 3 for 10 at an average of 54. Not amazing by any stretch but good enough to scrape him in at number 10 in my list. Number 9, Joe Root. Clearly known for his immense talent with the bat in hand, the Englishman is also a very capable off-spinner. Bowling with a slingy action he maintains good consistency and can get the odd ball to grip and move. As captain I think he actually under-bowled himself, but under Stokes' captaincy he has been given more overs. In his 131 Tests he has taken 55 wickets at a not too shabby average of 46. I actually think if he were to be used more regularly that average would come down. His best performance with the ball came when he took 5 wickets for 8 runs, mopping up the Indian tail on a turning deck. That performance amazingly puts him in third place in England's most economical 5-wicket hauls. Regardless, he is a handy option in the side and a worthy number 9 in this list. Number 8, Gooch. Goochie has been featured in a few of my videos, obviously for his prowess at the top of the order for England. But what is less known about him is that he was actually quite a handy bowler also. His inclusion here comes with a personal anecdote, as I have experienced firsthand his bowling ability. Back in the 90s I was an aspiring young cricketer and spent a lot of my time in the nets at Essex County Cricket Club. Well, Goochie would regularly come in and turn his arm over against the junior players. Predictably he was too good for yours truly and clean bowled me with a big in-swinger. My memory was that he could hoop the ball around considerably, obviously not at any real pace but he was talented. In Test cricket he took 23 wickets at an average of 46, with a best of 3 for 39. No world beater, but handy and comfortably good enough against 14-year-old me, so he makes the list. Number 7, Chappell. To Australia now and someone who I probably haven't featured enough on the channel in the past. Chappell had an excellent career with the bat, his stats are right up there with any of the Aussie greats in history. Where he sets himself apart from the Pontings and Haydens of the game is that he had an extra string to his bow. Chappell was also a very tidy medium pace bowler. Cut out of a similar cloth to Gooch, he was not quick by any stretch but he was skilled and could outsmart batsmen. Over the course of his career he took 47 wickets at a very respectable average of just over 40. His best bowling was taking 5 for 61 against Pakistan at the SCG. All of that is good enough for him to rank number 7 in my list. Number 6, Astel. Astel was at times an explosive batsman who holds solid records in both Test and one-day cricket. But in addition to his batting he was a skilled medium-pace bowler, becoming a fairly regular choice for various captains over the years. He took 51 wickets during an 81 Test match career at a pretty healthy average of 42. Astel never took a 5-wicket haul but he chipped in on multiple occasions, including taking 6 wickets in a match against Sri Lanka in 2005. This ultimately led to a big victory for the Kiwis in the game, proving his medium paces were a handy addition to their bowling attack. That wraps up part 1 of this 2-part series. What I would say is that this is one of the hardest lists to research, memory is a big part of it so there's always a chance I've forgotten some. So let me know who you think are some of the best part-time bowlers in the history of the game. The top 5 is pretty much set in stone with some uniquely handy bowlers included. But I'm always interested to hear what you guys think. As ever, thanks for watching and participating.